He was emotionally, mentally in great spirits.
Right now, a wife is remembering her husband after a deadly collision with a car this week. More on the legacy he leaves behind.
And it has been a hazy end to the work week. How long the wildfire smoke sticks around for, and of course, we'll take a look at what's ahead for the weekend in the full forecast.
And I'm Eliola Liberté live at Festa Italia with what you can expect this weekend.
That is all coming up on News 3 now at 6. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Good evening. I'm Sarah Carlson. Eric has the night off. We begin with the deadly collision on Madison's north side that happened on Monday. The victim has now been identified as Derek Allen, a man with many ties to the community and a father of 7. Our Tanisha Shaw talked to Allen's wife about the moments leading up to the crash.
Derek Allen sat by this tree often, sometimes visiting the area daily.
He was emotionally, mentally in great spirits.
This is LaToya Moss. She's Allen's wife and says he would use this area to meditate.
He would hit his singing bowls and go around the bowl and it would echo. He had chants and he would do his mala beads. He would do his prayers here because he is also Muslim.
That habit turned his life around after being diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, just days before the 2020 pandemic.
Within the last two and a half years, this became the center place for meditation and being grounded after chemo, after just fighting physically ailments, mental ailments, just fighting.
This tree is the last place that Allen visited before being involved in a deadly collision Monday.
Having stage 4 pancreatic cancer, right? You can't get life insurance.
According to the Madison Police Department, a driver hit and killed Allen near Kennedy Road in Northport Drive. That's less than 2 miles away from Warner Park, where he would meditate.
My husband was brain dead as they brought him to the hospital. So I feel like his soul traveled maybe here, right? Back so close to where the accident happened.
The fact that he meditated moments before his death brings his wife peace.
Maybe he came back here, right? To be at a place of peace, a place of stillness, a place of oneness for him. I find relief.
Now, the 48-year-old's wife and 7 kids are planning a funeral to say their final goodbyes.
He embodied strength. He embodied joy, peace, just a man of spirituality.
Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. And the family is raising money for the funeral. We will have a link on our website, channel3000.com, under this story. Well, a man who went missing last week after being discharged from Meriter Hospital is now facing arson charges. 53-year-old Vince Hildestad was last seen at 1 a.m. May 22nd when he was discharged from the Meriter emergency room. This morning, the city of Madison reported that Hildestad is booked in jail for arson in connection to a fire on Blossom Lane. The fire was reported May 20th at around 6 a.m. 5 people were displaced and it caused an estimated $100,000 in damages. That investigation is ongoing. A woman is facing tentative charges for OWI after getting into a crash, and she had 3 children in her vehicle at that time. Madison police say the 2-vehicle crash was reported about 10:20 Wednesday night at the intersection of Williamson and Baldwin Streets downtown. The 24-year-old woman had 3 children in the vehicle at that time, all under the age of 5, and also none of the children were wearing seatbelts. They were turned over to a family member and the woman was arrested. Well, nurses and Meriter management are back at the bargaining table today after failing to come to an agreement during yesterday's negotiations. During day 4 of the strike, nurses marched from the hospital to the Capitol, where we heard updates on the negotiations from Meriter nurses.
Ultimately, management showed movement in staffing and security that we have not seen so far. While we're not done yet, we can't underscore enough how big of a step forward it is, and we're having these discussions for the first time.
As the strike continues, some patients tell News 3 now that care has gone downhill at the hospital. One patient who wished to remain anonymous said medications are getting mixed up or delivered late and IVs aren't getting flushed in time. Meriter tells us that it's not aware of any patient complaints and denies any claims that operations are not running smoothly. Well, the Wisconsin Elections Commission says communities with less than 7,500 people can hand count ballots. This decision came in reaction to a complaint against the northwestern Wisconsin town of Thornapple, population 700, which decided to hand count ballots in the April 2024 presidential primary and the August state primary. The decision also comes as a federal lawsuit over Thornapple's decision not to have an accessible voting machine continues. Despite the decision, all Wisconsin towns, villages, and cities have to comply with the federal law and provide at least one electronic voting machine at a polling location to accommodate voters with disabilities. Smoke from Canadian wildfires has been moving into the U.S., causing some pretty unhealthy air quality for parts of Wisconsin, including right here. Beyond hazy skies, the smoke poses some health risks, so you may find yourself dealing with symptoms like itchy, watery eyes, congestion, a scratchy throat, even coughing. Someone can have these symptoms, but people will feel more effects, some of them, than others.
These folks who have asthma or other lung diseases have a lot of inflammation already in their lungs, and these fine particulates make that inflammation worse, causing more obstruction of the airways and then clamping down on the muscles around the airways, and can even precipitate asthma attacks during these periods of time.
So if that relates to you or your child, UW Health recommends spending time inside with the windows closed and maybe the air conditioning on if possible. And speaking of, we had some warm temps today, but that smoke is still coming. Meteorologist Blaise Keller has your certified most accurate forecast.
That's right. I'm looking up outside our studio on the southwest side of Madison, and I can still see the haze in the atmosphere despite being a generally sunny afternoon as of now. That smoke is going to be sticking around throughout the entire weekend. Currently, we have quite a lot of smoke just in the atmosphere itself, not necessarily at the ground, but this is taking a look at from the surface all the way up through the atmosphere, how much smoke is in that column of air. Where we find those darker reds and those purples, that's where we have quite a lot of smoke in the atmosphere. Because of that, because winds are going to continue to bring down the smoke as we go overnight into Saturday through at least Saturday morning, all of our coverage area, and I think this extends to all of Wisconsin and parts of Minnesota, underneath a air quality warning. For us, that goes until 5 a.m. on Saturday. We will get a brief break from the smoke as we go into the morning hours on Saturday. You can see it there. You can see that stark difference from really cutting Wisconsin from west to east. West is covered in that smoke. East, we're smoke-free. But as winds remain out of the north-northwest, that's going to continue to bring back more of that smoke as we look to end Saturday and go into Sunday. So we're not quite done with this smoke yet. And as long as our winds are out of the north-northwest, we're going to be dealing with at least some level of haze. We're also tracking showers and thunderstorms tonight. They're moving off towards the south and east, so we may get clipped here over the next couple of hours. But those storms up near Wausau, they would have the best chance of impacting a lot of our coverage area, and they're pretty far north. So we'll see how long they hold together. Maybe parts of Dodge County, northeastern parts of Dodge County, dealing with some showers and thunderstorms over the next hour or so. So we'll take a look at what's ahead for the weekend when we do get a real break from the smoke and any rain chances. That's all coming up in the full forecast.
Sounds great, Blaise. Thank you. Well, if you love Italian food and culture, we have the perfect event for you in Fitchburg this weekend. Our Ellie La Liberté is live with a behind-the-scenes look at Festa Italia. Ellie, what's up there?
Hey, Sarah. Well, welcome to Festa Italia. I'm here at the McKee Farms Park in Fitchburg, where the Italian Workmen's Club are expecting about 4,000 people this Saturday and Sunday. They tell me this event is really to share Italian culture with the community. Of course, they're doing that with the live music they'll have here. They'll have a cultural exhibit. And of course, all of the events, all of the food you can eat, of course, that does include a pasta eating competition. So look forward to that. Now, if you're interested in coming, here's how it works. Tickets are $7 at the door. Kids under 12 can get in for free. Of course, plenty of events for kids to enjoy here. And I'll be back later in the show to give you kind of a behind-the-scenes look of these festival grounds for Saturday and Sunday. But I'll send it back to you, Sarah, reporting live in Fitchburg. Ellie La Liberté, News 3 Now.
All right. Thank you so much, Ellie. Hopefully they won't challenge you to that pasta eating contest. We'll talk to you later. Well, coming up next on News 3 Now at 6, when you'll be able to vote for this year's Best of Madison. Plus, former Wisconsin Badger Lauren Carlini recaps Madison Volleyball's inaugural season in League One volleyball.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, if you're looking for some gently used home goods like furniture and home decor, we have the perfect event for you. It's the famous Attic Angel Sale hosted by Attic Angels, and the proceeds from the event support their community initiatives. This year, the sale focuses on efforts to address food insecurity for families with children and older adults. The sale takes place at the Kiva Sports Center in Middleton, and tomorrow it runs from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. with free admission all day long. Madison sports fans are on the heels of the first season of League One volleyball in the city. It comes as Madison is seeing an increase in women's sports with the softball team, Nightmares. We spoke with two of the Love Madison players about their first season and how important it is to see women's sports at the top level.
I think it's more of a joyful thing, and we get to show the younger generation like what they can do later in life, because I feel like we didn't have that growing up here.
The support that we felt here in Madison from the community, from volleyball fans, from casual fans was incredible. I mean, I know a lot of us can't walk through Target or Costco without being recognized and be like, we're season ticket holders now, we love you guys. And it was just...
That's awesome. You can see more from this conversation this Sunday at 10:30 and For the Record. Well, it's almost time to vote on what you think are the best people, places, and things in the Madison area. Madison Magazine's Best of Madison final voting period goes live Monday, June 1st, coming up soon. This year, there are 5 sections with 150 categories to choose from. Voting runs from June 1st to the 30th, and you can cast 1 vote in each category. Last year, more than 29,000 people voted. The winners will be revealed in the magazine's October issue. You can find a full list of the categories at channel3000.com. Just look for Best of Madison at the top of the website. Still ahead, how Public Health Madison and UW-Madison are looking to keep the county's beaches safer. Plus, we head back out to Festa Italia with more on the festivities in Fitchburg over the weekend. And later, Blaze is tracking both storms and look at that wildfire smoke in his weekend forecast.
News 3 now at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. Festa Italia is returning this weekend. The signature celebration is from the Italian Workmen's Club. Let's head back out to Ellie La Liberte, who is live in Fitchburg. Hi, Ellie.
Hey, Sarah, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty excited for Festa Italia. Like you said earlier, I'm here in Fitchburg. I'm at the McKee Farms Park, and I promised you earlier in the show I'd give you a tour, so let's do that right now. So behind me, we have a stage, a tent. This is where we're going to be live music is going to be taking place. There's also cultural exhibits, so lots to see and look out for here. Now, of course, what would be an Italian festival without a pasta competition, pasta eating competition, and of course, great Italian food. So we have a great menu over here. A look at what you could get if you come. Doesn't that look really great? Well, I spoke with the president of the Italian Workmen's Club earlier today, and he told me how much this event means to him.
Well, again, it's part of our mission statement. Our club has been in place since 1912. And that's been part of their mission statement. And so this is a great way to share what we do and our Italian culture and make it fun for kids and adults to come out and share some of that activity.
Now, if you're interested in coming this event Saturday and Sunday, tickets at the door are $7 and kids under 12 can get in for free. I'll send it back to you, Sarah, but for now, reporting live in Fitchburg, Ellie La Liberte, News 3 Now.
A lot to eat and a lot to do. Thank you, Ellie. In other news now, new testing sites along Madison beaches on campus this summer will be looking for E. coli. The new testing sites will be at the Willow Beach and the Willow Drive boat launch on the UW-Madison campus. Public Health Madison and Dane County will use the sites to check for E. coli bacteria, as well as blue-green algae blooms. With the addition of the new on-campus testing sites, they can now monitor conditions at 23 beaches and 4 lake access points across the county. The lake monitoring season will run through Labor Day. Well, some beautiful weather ahead of this weekend, but Blaze and I were just talking. Also, some of that haze from the fire up there, man.
Yeah, it's going to be sunny. It's going to be a pleasant, dry weekend, but we are going to be dealing with some of that smoke from those Canadian wildfires as they're reaching the peak of their wildfire season. It usually starts in March, but it peaks, especially in Western Canada, right about in May. So we're kind of nearing that, if not in the peak season. And we can see that with all that haze that's out there now, and that's going to continue through the weekend. We could reach the 90s by the start of next week, and then we cool on down. down as we go into the middle of next week with some rain chances. So partly sunny to mostly sunny, both Saturday and Sunday. Winds are going to be light and out of the north, and that's the reason why we're going to be dealing with this haze in the atmosphere, with that wildfire smoke, because those fires are off to our north and west. So northerly winds and especially northwesterly winds, they're going to bring down that wildfire smoke. So if you are sensitive to smoke, if you're sensitive to tree allergies, this weekend is going to be a little bit on the tougher side because we don't have any rain to wash out the pollen, and we're not going to have any really new air masses moving in to clear out the smoke. But if you want to venture outside, we'll be in the 70s, as I mentioned, 80s, maybe even 90s as we start off our next work week. So the air quality forecast tomorrow, looking at moderate to unhealthy for some, especially further west, because we're going to have a cold front move through tonight. That's what's sparking those showers and thunderstorms across northeastern parts of Wisconsin right now. It will bring down some less smoky air, but it really doesn't reach far western parts of Wisconsin. As you'll see, this is the cold front. There's this nice clean air moving on in as we go overnight into the morning hours on Saturday. So northeastern Wisconsin is probably going to be smoke-free to start Saturday, and then watch as those northerly winds take on over, bringing back that wildfire smoke out of Canada, but especially off into Minnesota, Iowa, and the Dakotas. That's where that thicker smoke is going to be. They're closer to the actual wildfires. And then as we go into Sunday, still dealing with those northwesterly winds. That means we're still going to be dealing with that smoke. And this is looking at smoke in the entirety of the atmosphere, from the surface all the way up into the upper layers of the atmosphere. Some of this might not be at the surface, but it's just showing you how thick that smoke is overhead, and partially due to a high pressure system. Its placement off to our south, continuing to circulate those northerly winds, because winds turn clockwise around that high, so it's pulling down slightly cooler air, more comfortable air, but it's also pulling down that smoke. So sunshine for your Saturday and your Sunday, even into Monday as well, but we are going to be warmer. And then there's that next system bringing in those showers and thunderstorms as we go into Tuesday. This is going to help cool us down by a lot, actually, and really clear out the smoke ahead of the rain. But then you're seeing those little green arrows. We're likely going to be dealing with that smoke yet again as we go into the second half of next week. Upper 40s to low 50s tonight. A better chance for showers and thunderstorms further to the east. There is a look at that 10-day forecast. Upper 80s to low 90s to start off our next work week, and then mid 70s with likely some haze in the atmosphere as we close out next week, the first couple days of June.
All right, thank you, Blaze. And the haze certainly not going to stop anyone from playing golf.
No, and it's hard to believe that this time of year, AmFam Championship right around the corner.
Right.
It doesn't feel like we should be talking about this, but coming up in sports, so the countdown down to just 7 days until this year's tournament. How Steve Stricker's feeling after finally getting back out on the links. That's next on News 3 Now. The AmFam Championship is 1 week away, and nobody's probably more excited than Steve Stricker. The tournament's player-host gets to show off his course, TPC Wisconsin, as he tries to win his second title in the last 3 years. Now, the challenge for Strick is to get back into the swing of things. He's only played in 3 tournaments this year because he's been battling a shoulder and neck injury.
I didn't play very well the last couple weeks, but it was good to get out there for a change, to test things out. And I continue to, try to get better. You just play golf for all these years, it's bound to take a toll. So, yeah, I'm not where I really want to be with my game or my health, really, but I'm super excited about next week and the opportunity to play with Mario and to be here at TPC Wisconsin.
Whitewater Baseball opens up their play in the D3 College World Series tonight when they take on Trinity College, and their return trip to East Lake is extra special for one Warhawk. Max Husbo could have taken a job in the real world, but decided against it because of how his senior season ended. And for him, getting another shot at a national championship made it all worth it for the WIAC Pitcher of the Year.
It was unfortunate I missed my senior year of high school, but get it back this year, and it was definitely worth it. But yeah, had a job offer. Still have the job offer, which is great, but definitely a little flexibility with my boss, which I appreciate a lot. But yeah, then obviously extremely happy to be here. Wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, everyone that I know and love, that's what they were saying. You got to do it, got to take the opportunity. So I'm very happy I did.
All right, thank you, Zach. And coming up on News 3 Now at 10, a Beaver Dam woman who lost her livelihood in a fire is getting help in an unusual way. Elila Liberté shows us how strangers from Portage are trying to help her rebuild her business with a fundraiser tomorrow. Quick check on our final forecast.
Hazy tonight, maybe a few showers and thunderstorms, especially further to the east. Not expecting any severe weather, but obviously if that changes, we will let you know. Planning for the weekend, we're looking at 70s and plenty of sunshine, but anticipate some haze out there with a light northerly wind. Pretty seasonal on Saturday, back into the upper 70s to low 80s on Sunday, upper 80s to low 90s Monday and Tuesday, and then later Tuesday into Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms. So we'll get a break from the smoke Tuesday, rain on Wednesday, and then maybe the smoke returns to round out next week.
All right, we'll take it. Thank you so much, Blaze. And thanks for watching News 3 Now at 6. Entertainment Tonight is next, and we'll see you back at 10.